Most people don't fear death. They fear realizing they never truly lived. You feel it in those quiet moments when the distractions stop and you realize weeks, months, and even years can disappear, repeating routines that don't actually feel meaningful to you. You keep telling yourself you'll start later, change later, become yourself later. But the strange thing about mortality is that it doesn't just remind you that you'll die someday. It forces you to ask whether the life you're living right now is one you'd willingly repeat. First, mortality removes illusions. Death is uncomfortable because it removes the fantasy of unlimited time. We live as if there will always be another year, another chance, another perfect moment. Someday becomes a psychological escape. Memento mori isn't meant to create fear, it's meant to create clarity. The real fear is regret. The deeper fear is not death itself, it's reaching the end and realizing you abandoned your values, you delayed your dreams, you lived according to comfort, approval, distraction, or fear. The suffering often comes from misalignment and not confusion. People often know what matters to them deep down, but do they give or make the time to engage in consistent action that's aligned with their values? Do you? Another thing to consider is an easy life versus a meaningful life. You have to ask yourself, do I actually want an easy life, or do I want the strength to pursue a meaningful one? Easy often means avoidance, numbness, comfort loops, distractions, instant gratification. Meaningful often requires discomfort, sacrifice, uncertainty, discipline, vulnerability. But meaningful suffering feels different than empty suffering. Every day is a recalibration point. You don't need to reinvent your life overnight. Every day is an opportunity to reorient, recommit, let go, implement, simplify. Small repeated actions create identity. Focusing on boundaries, health, creativity, relationships, peace, purpose. The meaningful path is built through repetition. An important thing to ask is, what are you avoiding? What conversations are you avoiding? What pursuit are you postponing? What version of yourself are you starving? What habits are keeping you numb? What would your future self beg you to start now? Knowing that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Being able to do whatever we can to at least live some moments on our path can feel infinitely better than a life full of avoidance, numbness, and escape. Sustainability over performance is another area to consider. The goal is not to impress people temporarily. The goal is to build a life that feels sustainable and aligned long term. A life where your routines support peace. Your actions reflect your values. Your environment reflects intention. Your days feel meaningful, even if simple. And the ultimate question is, if you had to relive this exact life again, would you feel grateful or trapped? If the answer hurts, that's not condemnation. That's awareness. That awareness is an invitation. Clarity can hurt because it reveals responsibility. but responsibility also means possibility. You don't need a perfect life. You need an aligned one. A life where your actions reflect what truly matters to you. Because one day there will be a final conversation with yourself. And in that moment, status won't matter, appearances won't matter, excuses won't matter. What will matter is whether you are truly living or merely delaying. Memento mori. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. Not so you become fearful, but so you finally become intentional. And maybe the goal isn't to reach the end wishing you had more time. Maybe the goal is to reach the end already knowing you spent your time living in alignment with what mattered most to you. If something resonated with you, consider leaving a comment below and sharing what felt most impactful. To support the channel, you can like, subscribe, and/or share this video with someone who you feel might also benefit. Additional ways to support the channel can be found in the links in the description below. You will also find a link to my website, cravingfreedom.com, where you can access my ebooks. On the website, you can also find descriptions of what to expect from the ebooks. And if you feel ready to commit to your path towards freedom and are seeking in-depth guidance and support, consider applying for one-on-one coaching. Answers to frequently asked questions can also be found on the website. Thank you for your time.